sending you in to take out a dreadnought. Get it done, Miner. We're all counting on you.
Greetings, fellow dwarves. I don't have any zany LARP character for you guys today. Don't even have my webcam turned on for this one. Just a very sincere recommendation to have a go at the free Deep Rock Galactic Survivor demo while it's still available. You've got until the end of October to get addicted to this masterpiece before you are put into involuntary rehab like I am going to be. I haven't played an auto shooter in close to 20 years. Probably the last time was an ancient Flash game on miniclip.com. So I can't give you a particularly nuanced take on DRG's interpretation of this genre, but what I can unequivocally tell you, it's a highly enjoyable game with a deep build customization and mechanics and systems that will be instantly recognizable and understandable to any casual DRG enjoyer, but somehow implemented in a completely different way from the inspiration. DRG Survivor is the perfect example of a well-created spin-off game. It's nothing like DRG, yet somehow it's so very familiar and easy to pick up. It's hard to pick a place to start because arguably all the systems in the game are probably the most important to talk about, so I'm just going to rattle them off in any particular order. Also, to make comparison easier, from here on out I'll just refer to DRG Survivor as Survivor and the original 5-year-old DRG as a DRG. So, the use of minerals in and out of missions. Survivor, just like DRG, has the optional in-game minerals you can collect, your Bismor, your Enor Pearls, your Unamite. They are useless in your current missions, but if you take the time and the risk to mine them now, you'll get the benefit of them outside the mission and can be used to purchase upgrades that will assist you for future dives. In the same vein, pun intended, Nitra in Survivor is used exclusively in mission to purchase weapons or utility upgrades as you go along. Weapons. We've only had access to the Scout in the demo, but most of my favourite weapons from DRG have returned in Survivor. Some are missing, but also with the addition of some interesting new ones. Knowing how these guns and throwables work in DRG makes them very easy to understand in Survivor. Any changes that they have made to fit the new genre are pretty intuitive and just makes the whole thing very easy to pick up. Dwarves. Our dwarves are the same. We've got Scout, Gunner, Engie, and Driller. We've only been able to experience the Scout so far, but I'm excited to see what other classes in Survivor look like when the full game comes out. Biomes. There's 3 biomes in the demo, but only one of them is accessible in the demo. So we know that there's crystalline caverns, which is kind of a very much vanilla DRG biome. There's no environmental hazards or anything like that. There's just some crystals that get in the way, plus the normal dirt you can mine through. I did actually catch a live stream from the developers. They were saying they were very excited about developing their other biomes that actually have environmental hazards and a bit more things to get in your way and to have to work and plan and strategize around. But let's hope it's not like a full-on hollow burrow and it's just like some fun environmental hazards. Weapon mods. Although Survivor does have weapon mods that you pick up as you go along and you pay Nitra to upgrade your gun, that's not really the best comparison between building a build in DRG and building a build in Survivor. Typically, your build in Survivor is most influenced by the 4 artifacts you get in every run. So these things can seriously change how you play the game. One of my favorite artifacts gives you damage, but minuses move speed for every single Nitra you have in your inventory. So I can go games where I turn my dwarf basically into a cripple. He's basically crawling around the entire map. He's not able to do any dodging or any cool movement to dodge the bugs. Instead, he just relies on the raw firepower bonus that this artifact gives you. It makes him slow as all hell and he can't move, and I've missed the drop pod so many times because I've been too slow to get it. But the dude is just like a walking tank. He will just destroy everything around him. It's amazing. So you can get with things like that where it's like a big plus and a big trade-off. But you can also just get some smaller artifacts that plus your max health when you mine red sugar. And then just some bonus ones where elemental damage has an extra effect. So it's really cool. It's similar to DRG, but it's also a little bit different how they construct the builds in Survivor. Seeming we're talking about mods and builds, this is a bit of a tangent, but Survivor has a lot of roguelite elements. I would say this game is so close to bordering on being called a roguelite. It's just not quite meeting all the criteria. It has too many upgrades that you can do between missions that carry over to the next one that makes it not a roguelite. But all your weapon upgrades happen in that game and you lose them when you leave the game. The thing that carries over is those bonus minerals that you get, and then they can be spent on permanent upgrades to your character or your class. So the game is very similar to being a roguelite, but it just probably doesn't meet the strict criteria for it. So it's kind of an interesting combination of a bullet hell auto shooter with a whole bunch of roguelike elements, but too much that you can permanently upgrade to be called a roguelite. It's actually in a really weird place in the genre, but I think it's very enjoyable. I do have a few concerns with the game, and the primary one is that there is no primary objectives in your mission. Where in DRG you can switch between 8 or so different primary missions, each of them have distinct build or defense or collection phases. In Survivor, your primary objective is always just surviving the constant wave of bugs. So I can see it getting a bit repetitive, and hopefully having different biomes and classes will alleviate that. But ultimately the main gameplay loop doesn't seem like it's very open to variability. So we could see it become a little bit repetitive and stale. But we have only seen a very small part of the game so far, so hopefully something in the final release makes my worries completely unnecessary. Overall though, I'm very impressed with the demo, and it's got, by the time I upload this, about another 7 days before it's taken away. So if you're watching this video, highly recommend jumping on Steam, downloading the demo. It's free, you've got nothing to lose, and hopefully you had as much fun as I did. Thanks for watching everyone. See you guys on Hoxus.
You've proven that one dwarf can do the work of 4 if we just give you enough guns. Management is pleased.